is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us. There is a chance overnight for temperatures to dip below zero as the real Wisconsin winter starts to settle in.
It is cold out there. Let's start by going right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who is literally chilling on the backyard patio. Gary?
Well, the good news is there's not much of a wind out here, so wind chills aren't going to be too much of a factor, but it is cold out here. The time lapse from the WIC Skycam shows plenty of sunshine today. That was nice during the day. It didn't help temperatures very much, but those clear skies and the moon rising in the east overnight means that we are going to see those temperatures drop off pretty quickly with the snow cover that we have in place from the storm about a day and a half ago. The only snow right now on the other side of Lake Michigan, downwind from the Great Lakes. Temperatures right now just barely above zero at Madison. We're at 3 degrees, 4 degrees in Lone Rock and Boscobel, already down to 4 below zero in Watertown and 7 below zero in Black River Falls. Wind chills, though, not too bad. Here at Madison, a little bit of a breeze drops the wind chill to 6 below zero. We have alert days in the forecast for late Saturday afternoon through Saturday night into Sunday morning for about 2 to 4 inches of snow accumulation Saturday night and maybe another inch or two Sunday morning before the snow tapers to flurries. Otherwise, look for temperatures to drop to about 2 below zero here in Madison. Look for sunny skies tomorrow, high temperature only reaching 18. Later on, I'll take a look at not only the potential for snow this weekend, but another storm later on next week.
Gary, thank you. As temperatures drop, Rock County is opening a number of warming centers tonight if people need a place to go. This list includes several public libraries in Beloit, Clinton, and Edgerton, uptown Janesville locations, and the Brodhead and Orfordville city halls. People are asked to bring their own food and water, wear a mask, and social distance. And as always, you can download our free Channel 3000 weather app for all of your local weather information on the go.
Today, DHS officials say new COVID cases are trending down while new COVID deaths continue to be higher than the 7-day average. But the state is dramatically increasing the number of people getting vaccinated. Yesterday, almost 22,000 people got a shot. Whether it's nearly your turn to get the vaccine or you have a little time to wait, there are a number of things to keep in mind. Should you get the vaccine if you've had COVID? And what if you have another routine vaccine scheduled? Madeline O'Neill spoke with a doctor to answer the most common questions. Maddie?
Well, health officials are working through their list of people eligible to get vaccinated. In the meantime, we made a list of do's and don'ts when it comes to the vaccine, whether you've already gotten 2 shots or you're still waiting for your first. 1, 2, 3. If you've already gotten your first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine, you do want to make sure you go back for the second.
Maximal immunity doesn't really occur until a week or more after that second dose.
But even at that point, UW Health's Dr. Matt Anderson says you don't want to act like everything's normal.
There's this sort of phenomenon of I have relief, I have excitement, I should go do everything, and the answer is really no. That's not the case.
It is the case that COVID is still out there. So Anderson stresses you do want to keep up precautions, regardless of what stage of the vaccination process you're in.
We can all do our part to protect the community. Right now, some people are doing that by getting vaccinated, and everybody should be doing that by distancing and avoiding gatherings.
Like it never happened, right?
When you schedule your COVID-19 vaccine, you do want a 14-day window on either side, clear of any other non-urgent routine vaccinations.
Deferring those for a period of time to make sure that you have that window and get the best immune response from the COVID vaccine.
And though not everyone gets them, you do want to remember potential side effects.
You may want to do it before a day off or on the weekend.
And know that they mean the vaccine is working.
That's your immune system responding to the vaccine. That's a good thing.
For people waiting, health systems ask you, do be patient and do not call clinics asking when it will be your turn.
We're working through as fast as we can, and really that's supply dependent.
But when your time for the vaccine does arrive,
really encourage people to strongly consider it. And we've had really good success with tolerance of it. And we know that the effectiveness data is really strong as well.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Because reinfections have happened, it's still recommended that you get the vaccine even if you've had COVID, but you want to do that once you're fully recovered. Now, UW Health recommends that its patients sign up for My Chart so they know when it is their turn and when they're eligible to get that vaccine.
Phase 1B of the Wisconsin plan for COVID-19 vaccines includes first responders. Today, the Madison Police Department got its first round of shots. Some 500 Madison Police Department personnel will get their first doses today and tomorrow. In 3 weeks, they will come back and do it again for their second doses. Interim Police Chief Vic Wall says he expects up to 90% of his department to get those shots. Saturday will mark the 1-year anniversary of the first known COVID case here in Wisconsin. Today, a panel of experts at the UW School of Medicine and Public Health reflected on the lessons learned over the past year.
The biggest message that we have out of this COVID pandemic, it will not be the last, but hopefully we can remember what this was like and try to put more proactive policies in place so that we can detect the emergent warning signs of new viruses wherever they may be in the world, and try to respond as a global community before they reach kind of global proportions as this is done.
Friedrich says masks will also likely have a greater place in public health from now on and likely aren't going away.
Now, tomorrow, Wisconsin will likely become one of just 10 states in the country that does not have a statewide mask mandate. The Republican-controlled state assembly will vote on the measure to overturn the governor's order tomorrow. After the Senate approved it yesterday, more than 24 public health organizations, as well as state and local health officials, have urged the Republican-controlled legislature to reconsider. UW-Madison delaying the start date for enforcing its Badger Badge building access restrictions. It was initially going to go into effect February 1st, but it's been pushed back a week to February 8th. It's through an app. It's called Safer Badgers, and students will be required to test negative for COVID-19 and be up to date on testing to get access to campus buildings. A healthcare provider in Rock County won't be allowed to vaccinate any more teachers for another month. Rock County health leaders and the state DHS say Mercy Health in Janesville sidestepped the rules and started teachers too early. Mercy Health vaccinated teachers in Janesville, also in Milton, in the last 4 days, but the state says now the healthcare provider will have to wait until March 1st to give other teachers the vaccine.
The FDA is taking a careful look at alcohol-based hand sanitizers coming from Mexico. The federal agency has placed these products on a countrywide import alert. They say some of the products have been labeled as containing ethanol, but they tested positive for methanol. Officials note that methanol is not an acceptable ingredient in hand sanitizer in the U.S. and can be toxic if it is absorbed through the skin. A long-awaited investigation into where the coronavirus came from will soon begin in Wuhan, China. A team of health experts under the World Health Organization will end their quarantine tomorrow and begin their field research. They arrived in Wuhan 2 weeks ago, where they were COVID-19 swab tested before going into 2 weeks of isolation.
Next at 10, a developing story now. A woman who was reported missing in Janesville has been found dead. Police have not yet identified her, but say the 25-year-old woman's body was found on Woodman Road last night. That's just west of Highway 26. She was reported missing earlier in the day. The Janesville Police Department does not suspect foul play and does not think anyone else is at risk. The Madison man who entered a pair of downtown businesses this past summer and threatened them during the civil unrest has been sentenced to 2 years probation. 29-year-old Devanir Johnson was sentenced today on 1 count of extortion. He pleaded guilty to the charge in November. Now, he's the man who was caught on video going into Cooper's Tavern on the Square with a baseball bat and a blowhorn. And during sentencing, the judge noted the impact on the victims and that they supported this term of probation. In his sentencing memorandum, Johnson admitted that his conduct was intimidating, scary, and wrong.
DoorDash is giving $150,000 in grants to local Madison restaurants as part of its COVID-19 relief program. Local restaurants will be able to apply for a $5,000 grant. Applications are available online and will remain open through February 17th. An eviction moratorium that was set to end this weekend will likely be extended for another 60 days. In order to qualify, people need to go online to the Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection's website and file a declaration, which is done under the penalty of perjury. Then a copy needs to be delivered to a landlord. DATCAP makes it clear that this moratorium does not say tenants do not have to pay rent or late fees. It only prevents eviction if it cannot be paid.
Making sure that people have financial security while we're still in this emergency situation is critical. But it's also important for fighting the pandemic, because if people lose their ability to rent their house or rent an apartment, they could end up in a homeless shelter. They could end up in a different group facility. And that reduces our ability to keep people socially distanced.
This moratorium does not apply if a tenant is facing possible eviction for breaking other agreements, criminal behavior, or safety violations.
Today, President Biden laid out his agenda on climate change. Another series of executive actions are aimed at elevating climate as a top national security and foreign policy issue. The president's plans are already getting opposition from members of Congress and the oil and gas industry. Natalie Brand reports.
Today is Climate Day at the White House.
President Biden, who's called climate change one of the top 4 pressing challenges of the time, signed executive actions making it a top priority of his administration.
It's a whole-of-government approach. Put climate change at the center of our domestic, national security, and foreign policy.
The actions include setting goals to conserve 30% of federal land and water by 2030, as well as steps to double renewable energy production from offshore winds. It also directs the Secretary of Interior to freeze new oil and natural gas leases on public lands and offshore waters to the extent possible.
We're not going to ban fracking. We'll protect jobs and grow jobs.
The oil and gas industry has been critical of the president's climate plans, with the American Petroleum Institute charging it could lead to more dependence on foreign energy and job loss. Those concerns were echoed on Capitol Hill at the confirmation hearing for Energy Secretary nominee Jennifer Granholm.
A long-term ban is going to cut revenues to New Mexico and Wyoming by hundreds of millions of dollars.
The licenses that currently are operating are not going to be disrupted.
Members of the president's climate team say their focus is on creating the jobs of the future.
We can build that demand. We can actually grow significantly millions of clean energy jobs.
On the foreign policy front, the president is planning to host a World Leaders Climate Summit on Earth Day. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And new tonight, the Biden administration has also put a pause on a Trump-era arms sale to the United Arab Emirates, including a major deal featuring the F-35 fighter jets. The arms sale came after the UAE signed an agreement to normalize relations with Israel for the first time. But President Biden's Secretary of State Tony Blinken said the administration wanted to examine the deal first.
Also new tonight, Russia's parliament has ratified a 5-year extension of the New START nuclear treaty with the United States. New START stands for New Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. It had been set to expire next week. Russian President Vladimir Putin submitted the bill after a phone call with President Biden. The Wednesday vote to ratify the extension was swift in both houses of Russia's parliament. Putin called it a step in the right direction. Former First Lady Melania Trump is setting up a post-White House office in Palm Beach, Florida. According to 2 sources, she plans to maintain her Be Best initiative, which is aimed at helping children. The sources say the office will be made up of 3 of her White House staff members.
Still ahead tonight at 10, we'll check back in with Gary for your full forecast for the second half of the work week. Plus, she was a hit at the presidential inauguration, and now she has secured yet another primetime performance on the biggest stage. Stay with us.
What does it mean to fight for what's right? To us, it means helping accident victims get their lives back to normal again. Habish, and Rotier, we fight for what's right.
How you sleep sets your entire life in motion. So live your best life by getting your best sleep on a Doctor's Choice mattress. The perfect combination of support and comfort.
In fact, I've been recommending it to my patients for over 20 years.
Visit us in-store or online and discover all the benefits of Doctor's Choice, only at Denver Mattress.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2021 RAV4 or lease a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you. So all you have to do is bake it. Right now, get the classic Italian with pepperoni, sausage, and mushrooms on our original crust for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Hey folks, Thursday morning we'll preview a big vote at the Capitol on the statewide mask mandate.
And the disproportionate effect the pandemic is having on women. We'll see you starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
COVID vaccines go under the microscope.
What exactly are these mRNA vaccines and how do they work?
News 3 Now gives you the facts
These are not live virus vaccines.
and puts common misinformation to rest. Thursday at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Most adults in the United States with credit card debt accrued more debt since the start of the pandemic. According to a new creditcards.com report, 51 million people have added more credit card debt since last March. Of those, 22 million blame the pandemic as a reason why. Adults ages 24 to 39 seem to have been hit the hardest, where more than half reported adding to their credit card debt since last March. The European Union has determined the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft is safe to return to service in Europe. This is according to a statement released by the EU Aviation Safety Agency. The statement added there was no economic or political pressure involved. The Boeing 737 MAX was grounded worldwide in March of 2019 after those two fatal crashes.
Another airline is banning emotional support animals. Southwest says going forward it will accept only trained service dogs. Southwest also says customers with service dogs will have to show proper forms and documentation for the animal. The policy change takes effect on March 1st. Delta, United, American, and Alaskan Airlines have already announced they were ending their policies that supported emotional support animals as well. A Hollywood legend has passed away. Actress and comedian Cloris Leachman made audiences laugh for 7 decades, winning 8 Primetime Emmys. She won 2 of those for her performance as Phyllis Lindstrom on the CBS sitcom The Mary Tyler Moore Show. She later starred in the spin-off Phyllis and The Facts of Life and appeared in 3 Mel Brooks films, including Young Frankenstein. Cloris Leachman was 94 years old. Baseball legend Hank Aaron has been laid to rest in Atlanta, Georgia. Today's service was closed to the public due to the coronavirus restrictions, but it will be broadcast on television and live streamed. Featured speakers included former President Bill Clinton and former Atlanta Mayor and UN Ambassador Andrew Young. Aaron died last week at the age of 86. An investigator with the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office says the baseball legend and Hall of Famer died of natural causes.
After making a big splash on the national stage at the inauguration, America's Youth Poet Laureate will be in the spotlight once again, but this time at the Super Bowl. Amanda Gorman will recite an original poem before the big game February 7th. The poem won't focus on football, but instead it will highlight 3 people selected by the NFL as honorary captains for the game: an educator, a nurse, and a veteran. The league's commissioner says they're being honored for their community leadership during the pandemic.
And here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our frigid forecast. Gary.
Well, tonight could be our coldest night so far this winter, but in general, and this is usually about the coldest time of the year, are the coldest low temperatures at the coldest time of the year have been climbing over the last 50 years since 1970 to 2020 in Madison by about 4.1 degrees over that time period. This is from our friends over at Climate Central. So with the climate warming, we're seeing fewer and fewer of those cold overnight low temperatures. Case in point, this would be the first time this winter that our temperature would have gone below 0 We normally do that 17 times over the entire winter, and we're already more than halfway through it. Low temperatures this morning were below zero up in northern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. A few places in southern Wisconsin did drop below zero, including Lone Rock and Boscobel, but Madison was at 3, and that's about where we are right now. 3 things you need to know in the forecast: below zero temperatures expected by morning, upper teens for highs tomorrow, so a cold period. Then we were looking for some snow from later Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning before it tapers to flurries, and another round of snow Thursday and Friday of next week. We have alert days in the forecast for late Saturday afternoon, Saturday night through Sunday morning. About 2 to 4 inches of snow accumulation expected Saturday night, and maybe another inch or 2 on Sunday morning, with the heaviest amounts probably down toward the Illinois state line. You can see this on Future Track predicted snowfall. Maybe some 6-inch amounts over southeastern Wisconsin and closer to Lake Michigan. Generally closer to 2 to 3 inches out toward the Dells. But again, these numbers are subject to change. The storm system next week and the Thursday, Friday time period has the potential to be a much more significant winter storm. The European computer model shows a major snowfall of over a foot in some areas from Minnesota into northwestern Wisconsin, with lesser amounts here because we probably would be on the warm side of the storm at least on Thursday and see a mixture of rain and snow before it changes over to snow. The GFS computer model from the U.S. government shows mainly snow here, very little in the way of rain, so the amounts would be higher in this area, including southern Wisconsin. Again, the big message here is that a big storm is expected toward the end of next week. Where exactly that heaviest snow band still is subject to some changes, but something to keep in mind if you are planning travel later on next week. Right now, our upper level winds are from the west-northwest. Most of the really cold Canadian air is locked up just north of the U.S.-Canadian border. We're just getting a little piece of it right now. High pressure is located just north of Minnesota. That's the center of the cold air mass. And you can see the temperatures are already in the single digits above and below zero through much of the upper Midwest. But out to the west, skies are starting to turn cloudy. The temperatures already starting to warm up there. We'll look for partly to mostly sunny skies for tomorrow. So here in Madison, look for a high temperature tomorrow of 18 degrees after that overnight low temperature of 2 degrees below zero. Look for mostly sunny skies. 7 to 10 day forecast, 25 on Friday. Snow from Saturday afternoon through Saturday night into Sunday morning, and the tapers down to flurries. Maybe a flurry lingering into Monday morning. Then relatively quiet weather. Jimmy the Groundhog will probably see a shadow on Tuesday, and then look for that storm system toward the end of next week with the potential for more accumulating snow followed by a blast of cold air.
All right, Gary, thank you. And just ahead in sports, the Badgers get some revenge in College Park tonight. Big-time performance that led Wisconsin to its 7th Big Ten win. That's next in Sports with Zach.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
How we doing?
Fabulous.
I wonder how the firm's doing without its fearless leader. You sure you want to leave that all behind?
Yeah. Stay restless with the icon that does the same. The RX, crafted by Lexus.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 all-wheel drive for $429 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Find your style and save big money on Patriot Lighting at Menards. The Menards Lighting Showroom is filled with all of the latest lighting collections from Patriot Lighting. The Samuel collection comes in a bold bronze finish with clear glass shades for maximum glow. These lights come with vintage-style bulbs to complete the industrial feel. Right now, get this Samuel chandelier for only $149.99. Save on Patriot Lighting now during Menards Home Improvement Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
My mom was a bank teller, but her hands were so crippled by arthritis she could no longer do her job. She applied for Social Security disability benefits. Like most people, my mom was denied. I'm attorney Don Becker. Don't be embarrassed and don't give up. My mom appealed. You can too. Disability law is all we do.
Call the Becker Law Office, 1-800-254-7766.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What would Quick Trip's take-home meals being? As the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts. And they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
We hear much about what divides us, our differences. But today, America is coming together, as it always has. People rising to the occasion. Among them, the healthcare alumni of Herzing University, over 12,000 strong and growing. This is your opportunity to join Herzing, to make a difference. Together, you can start now. Find out how at herzing.edu.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
In the first meeting against Maryland, Micah Potter was nowhere to be found. He scored 4 points in 22 minutes, and nobody else really picked up the slack. Safe to say Potter didn't forget about his performance back on December 28th, and you couldn't have asked for a better first half for the Badgers or Potter. The big man was working hard down low. Potter rocks the rim and gets the freebie. Scotty led by 18 at the break. Second half, it got a little tight. That lead down to 3, and Brad Davison stops the bleeding with the triple, and then Potter would take it from there. Later in the half, he steps back and shows off his range. Game high, 23 points tonight from Micah. He also grabbed 12 boards. Badgers bounce back with a 61-55 win. They get Penn State on Saturday. Bucks taking on the Raptors in Florida. Remember, Toronto is playing their home games this season in Tampa. Doesn't matter where Giannis is playing, he's going to do that. The poster, part of his 24-point, 18 rebound, and 9 assists night. And then right before the half, Torrey Craig flips it to Chris Middleton, and he's money from deep to beat the buzzer. Middleton also scored 24. Bucks win by 7. For the second time this offseason, Paul Chryst has a spot to fill on his coaching staff. Pro Football Focus is reporting that John Budmeyer is heading to Colorado State to be the new offensive coordinator for the Rams. Now, Budmeyer spent the last 6 seasons in Madison, with the last 3 as UW's quarterbacks coach, and he helped bring in Graham Mertz, the highest-rated QB recruit in program history, and 4-star quarterback Deacon Hill. The Badger men's hockey team enters the weekend 3rd in the Big Ten standings, just 1 point behind second-place Michigan. Their opponent for Friday and Saturday, not even close to them in the standings. Michigan State is dead last in the standings, so their next series against Minnesota, it's kind of starting to feel like a trap game. But Tony Granato is not going to let his team lose focus.
Season's short. You look for opportunities and challenges on your schedule to say, okay, this team's playing well. What are we going to do to get our season going? And I think that's where Michigan State is. So from a preparation standpoint, you can't let your guard down and be sloppy in your practice habits getting ready for the week. So that's our job as coaches, is to make sure we stay sharp.
And that's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Finding the perfect pillow can be overwhelming. So many cheap pillows out there. Are you really getting the quality and support you need for a great night's sleep? That's why Denver Mattress turned to a neurosurgeon.
I've been recommending Doctor's Choice for 20 years. And while finding a great mattress is important to a healthy, restorative sleep, you also need the right pillow. The Doctor's Choice pillow by Denver Mattress is the only pillow that I use and recommend to my patients.
So follow the doctor's orders with a Doctor's Choice pillow. Packed with hypoallergenic down alternative microfiber and made in the USA at our very own Denver Mattress Factory, the Doctor's Choice pillow provides the ultimate neck-relieving comfort and support. And for a limited time, when you buy one Doctor's Choice jumbo pillow, you get the second free. That's right, 2 pillows for only $69.99 plus free shipping. And every pillow comes with our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop in-store or online and get your Doctor's Choice pillow today. But hurry, this offer won't last.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a Built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to go ahead and smile.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick 'n Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick 'n Save. Fresh for everyone.
So I can get the latest phones free with no hidden requirements?
Yep. And do I have to get the most expensive plan?
Nope. No plan restrictions.
Okay, but we have to trade in our phones.
Right?
Right?
Nope. Keep your phones.
Did you say free phone?
Yep. The latest phone's free for you. Switch to US Cellular and get the latest 5G phones free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular.
Traffic delays? Be the first to know with News 3 Now Firstborn Traffic. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, the Brewers' home ballpark name change is starting to become a visible reality as signs around the stadium start to change. Crews began removing the old Miller Park signage around the stadium and replacing it with the new American Family Field logos and signs today. American Family Insurance bought the naming rights to the stadium for the next 15 years.
I like that little Madison flavor to Miller Park, the old Miller Park. But Gary, baseball season seems a long way away tonight.
You know, it starts April 1st. Or that's
good thing they have an indoor stadium.
Hopefully that's where we will be. Right now, temperatures are in the single digits. We have alert days in the forecast for late Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning for the potential for accumulating snow.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.